Okay, please tell me this is working. Okay. I got a confirmation for my own stream. Yay, it is. I hope the delay is not too bad. Hello, everyone. So I have no idea how OBS works, but YouTube wouldn't let me stream directly. So that's fun. It should be full screen now. The fun thing is that you now see my phone screen as well, which is kind of stupid. But that's how it is. I need to get an external webcam. Okay. Can I maybe... This is so dumb. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It just means that the screen is a bit smaller when I have it on video. That's the only difference. And I think we have a cat coming in. Hi, Lola. So how is everyone? So I'm doing totally okay, as you can see. No difficulties at all. Lola. I have a craft lunch waiting to happen there, and she's right in it. Hi, baby. Say hi to the peoples. Yeah, she's all like, finally the camera is back up, Mom. Here I am, the star of the show. Smack in the middle. I hope you've got something to drink, maybe a snack, because I have a feeling this is going to take a little longer, especially with the cat shenanigans I can see happening here soon. So thank you for joining me, and yeah, she is beautiful, isn't she? Yeah. So thank you for joining me. I know this was kind of surprising, especially considering that I think I haven't made a video in a month once again. Cat, why? Oh God. You'll be here live when she topples everything over. And with everything, I mean this, all of this here. All of this. We have quite a bit ahead of us. Hi everyone, hi. Sorry for being late. Like I said, I had some technical difficulties. I also have some English difficulties apparently. I hope this is working well now. Streamlabs sure says it does. Oh no, that's not Streamlabs, that's OBS. Or is OBS Streamlabs? I have frankly no idea at all. Completely overwhelmed here. So I'm going to try to do some kind of a Flosstube today. I have been trying to, or I shouldn't say I've been trying to record. I have recorded stuff in the last few months, but my hang up currently is all the things that come after that, the editing and stuff, and for whatever reason I just can't get over that hurdle. So that's why I thought let's do it live. Cat, that's the keyboard. Don't do it. Don't do it. The keyboard is underneath the monitor and she still steps on it. So I thought, once Lola lets me, we are going to do this. Oh God, this is going to fall. We're going to do this like a regular Flosstube maybe. So I'm going to to do a bit of a finish parade. I'm going to show you all the finishes I had last year. I mean, most of them were at the end of the year, so if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen them all, but I thought I would show them here on camera as well. We are going to do a mini whip parade because my whips I carried over into 2022 is a whooping 4. So I'm not someone who actually can do a whip parade. Yes, Tati, totally because I can. She is the embodiment of because I can. Yeah, thank you for the 5 claws in my finger. I appreciate them. You should see the look on her face right now. Yeah, mini parade, and I think then we are going to talk a lot about plans and stuff, because all that stuff you saw just now, that's basically things I have more or less completely kitted up and I could start, and some of them I want to start, some of them I'm pretty sure I don't want to start. Hi everyone, people still coming in. Yeah, sorry to my American friends that I scheduled this so early, but I kind of wanted to try to catch you all. So I thought, well, for the Australians it's going to be really late. For the Americans it's going to be kind of early, but I hope everyone somehow can make it at least for a few minutes. There will be a replay, of course, so no worries about that. Though I'm thinking I might maybe try and cut that up at some point, and maybe, well, we shall see. Yeah, she even does that in her sleep. So apparently cats only wag their tails when they are kind of agitated. Ragdolls not. They do it constantly. I'm touching your foot. See, that's her getting a little more agitated. So yeah, let's get into it before the cat decides she wants to get into all my stuff again. Let's start with the finished stuff. How about that? I have them all here beside me in no particular order, so no thought behind that. So the first one is actually my first finish for this year. It is an Owl Forest kit, the Sea King. I think I unboxed that last year sometime, so if you're interested in that, there is a video on the channel. This was my New Year, New Start, and I finished this in record time. This is a bit of a theme so far this year. I've been obsessively stitching. So I hope my screen has not frozen and it's just lagging. Let me know if you can still... I think it has frozen. Are we back? You did that on purpose, didn't you? Ah! Claws! No claws! Murderer! Could you just really quickly let me know if you can still see what's happening? Yeah, I know, you can see everything. Arr! And she goes on the keyboard again. Oh god. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, great. So what is happening here is I'm using my phone, and my phone is going to go in sleep mode every few minutes, it seems, if I don't remember to touch it. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I promise I'm going to get an external webcam if we are going to do this more often, because this is not tech savvy at all. That's my hairband. Thank you. So let's try to get through this. So as I said, I finished this like in, Rachel, what was it? 7 days, something like that. I can't remember any longer. And it was a lot of fun to stitch. The beads like to flop over, so I have to adjust that. But there's a lot of beading going on. down here in the bottom half mostly, and a lot of sparkle, but I don't think that the sparkle actually shows very well on camera. Did you hear it, Jessie? I did. No. This is not a bird. It's also not a fish. So yeah, I hope this shows at least a little bit. It is really, really, really sparkly. It's like a diamond painting. It sparkles your eyes out, but I just can't catch it on camera at all. So thank you, Alemi. I'm glad you like it, because this, as you can see, is not going to stop anytime soon. Cat shenanigans. The sad thing about these kits is that Owl Forest is not going to restock them. You can still get the patterns on their site, and I have all 3 of the other patterns. We're going to talk about those later, but they don't sell the full kits any longer. So sourcing the beads actually is the biggest pain in the ass, because some of them are kind of special and yeah, hard to get. So that's a bit sad. One recommendation, if you want to stitch those, and Jessie and Rachel are probably going to laugh, there's a lot of metallic thread in these things, and Owl Forest actually wants you to stitch with DMC metallic. Don't do it. It's the devil. It's just the devil. There is a conversion chart where you can see which DMC color is the closest to Krynic or Rainbow Treasure Braid. I would recommend getting the Rainbow Treasure Braid instead. That's what I did. So I stitched like... how much did I stitch? I think I stitched this part of his arm, and then I decided, we are not going to do that. Because everything here on the side is metallic. This is all metallic. There's a lot of metallic in him. His whole cape is metallic, so crazy stuff. I think, Jessie, that cats have it hard-coded into their DNA that they have to interrupt everything. Because every cat is the same as soon as the camera is on. Or you're talking to your coworkers on the phone, or your company president, which is still going to be something I will hold against her for the rest of her life. Okay, next one is one you've never seen. So this was a secret stitch I did last year, and it is still intended to be a present for someone. It still needs to turn into something completely different, so I decided I'm going to show it, because that person is probably not watching, not even the replay, and she's not going to know what I'm going to do with that, and it's supposed to be for her, so here we go. It's the Secret Garden. Oh geez, I should have looked up what the shop is called. It's one of the shops on Etsy, and it's something with mountain. I'll try my best to compile the information and put them in the description box once the stream is over. Sapphire Mountain something, I think, is the shop name. She is on Etsy. Let's see if the camera is still running. It is. Let's touch it real fast so it doesn't go out. And yeah, this was the Secret Garden, one of her book patterns. She has several of them. She now has the Three Musketeers. She has, I think, Pride and Prejudice, stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of those, because those are mostly words and letters and not much interesting stuff going on. So I decided to do the Secret Garden, and there's a plan. Cat, oh, you're in the middle of something important? Let me jump right in the middle of your camera here. Yes, exactly. And if there is a face somewhere, she will sit down on it. She's very good at that. Quick information on how this was stitched. This is all DMC, and this fabric is called Wild Squirrel. It's from Extra Designs on Etsy. And I think it's a 36 count. I don't think that I went the 40 count route. This should be 36. So you can get this fabric from her. She is going to dye it for you if you want it. It is actually pretty close-ish to the one that was called for. But that one had to come from the US, and I didn't feel like going through that whole trouble clause again. Oh, and the camera went off. Perfect. This is going well. Ah, I have a feeling. This is going to be fun. She's lying on my left hand now. This is also helping a whole lot. Let's take a drink of coffee, shall we? So I have plans to turn this stitch into a gift, and it's not going to be framed or something. It's going to be something hopefully special and useful in the end. Let's see whenever that happens. Because I've run into some roadblocks I still have to work around, because I don't like how what I have right now looks. So this is my whole it has to be perfect brain for you. I think this was actually my first finish of 2021, because I did this very early in the year. So, Miss Cat, I need my second hand. She's like, no you don't. She's a model, Jessie. Everything she does is pretty. Thank you for my hand. So, next one on the pile is the, no. Let's push the kitty aside. And the kitty is like, no, Mom. This is the Clouds Factory. There is no Planet B stitch along I did last year. This was a stitch along that ran all year, January through to December. And Cat, I just want to show it. No, she's lying on my whole wrist. This is going splendidly. Yeah, this is one of the 4 or 5 stitch alongs I did last year. Mostly kept up with it. I think, is this one I had to play catch up with? I don't think though. I think that's the one I kept up with the whole time through. Yeah, think so. And this is super cute. Rachel, you're right, she's out of practice. You're totally right. So this was a year-long thing where she released a pattern each month on the 1st, releasing 2 to 3 of these little critters. They are all endangered species, and it's really, really, really cute. So I enjoyed stitching this a whole lot. Cat. My favorite critter happens to be this one, which is why the tail has to go there. Oh, sorry for the work meeting. Thank you for joining. Bye, Elamik. Yeah, the replay will be up. I thankfully have no work with that at all. So yeah, YouTube. Yeah, so this was really, really, really fun to stitch. This year she is doing a dinosaur alphabet. I've seen the first drop. It is kind of cute, but dinosaurs are not my thing. Also, I am not allowing myself to do any running stitch alongs, because I get into them and I keep up with all of them, not a problem, but I do nothing else. So that's why I don't want to do this. So this was stitched with all the called for. Once again, it's all DMC and DMC Etoile. I do not think that I changed anything yet. I am currently thinking about changing the letters up top here, because the first part was the Planet B that she released, and it's these ugly, very blocky blue letters. I hate stitching them. I still hate looking at them, and I think Alice is her name, right? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But she charted these letters in this font, and she was so nice to share her pattern with me. So I'm thinking about frogging and restitching them in this font, because I enjoyed this one much more. I have this very irrational hatred for words and letters. I just do not like stitching them. But I like those, so they were not such a big problem. So let's see how this will turn out. The thought of frogging this is really paining me. The fabric is once again X2 Design. This is a 28 count brown sand, I think. I believe every time I've shown this on video, I have said I can't remember what the fabric is. The information is all on Instagram. Just look for this one in my postings, and there's always this little section where I give all the information on the fabric and the floss and the pattern and the designer and so on and so forth. She's now sitting over there, giving me the back view. I do not deserve her face. Oh yeah, this one is a very old one. And the camera's off again. Oh God. I know I did this differently last time. I know I did. So sorry, guys. So sorry. So this is the one I started stitching in 2019, I believe, in January. This is The World in the Jar by S.A. Stitch. S.A. Stitch is, I think, a set of sisters. They have an Etsy shop, but they have their own shop as well. So again, I'm trying to remember everything and put it in the information at some point in time. Please don't hold me on that. You know how things are not working here right now. So this was actually something I stitched up very quickly, and then I hit the back stitch, and I like back stitch, but for whatever reason this piece killed me. So this sat unfinished in my pile of something. It wasn't even with my whips. I found it by coincidence recently. And I finally finished the back stitch this year. This was my last year. This was my last finish of 2021, and a very unplanned one. But it's done now, so I can get this off my conscience. Close up. The one thing I didn't do with this one is the French knots. There was supposed to be a whole lot of French knots on top of everything else, and I thought, yeah, that's just too much, and I don't want to. So. Not sad, and I don't think you are missing them. So there's that. This was stitched on a 14 count Ader. That's how you can see how long ago that was. I haven't stitched on Ader since this piece. And the name is right here, Nostalgia. This is a fabric flare. It's a printed fabric, and it has little black fluffy parts all over it because the DMC was actually cheapy DMC from China, and that for some reason fluffed. And then we have Fish Dude. This is a kit from Owl Forest. It is a set of 6 kits with Russian fairy tales, and this is this fish guy. I can't remember what he's called. There's also floof on that, so I think that's cat. And I just call him Fish Dude. It's very fitting. Unsurprisingly, I have all 6 of these kits, and I have so far stitched 2. The first was the Baba Yaga, and this is the second one. Hi, kitty. Am I back in your good graces? And what I love about these small kits, they have these amazing borders around them. I'm one of these weird people who likes elaborate borders. So I had a lot of fun stitching this one. Also went very quickly. Yes, Jesse, fish dude. Uh, this was another stitch along I did last year. This one ran from March? No. This ran from March to December, 10 parts. And it was the Cozy Cafe by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Fish Dude came as a kit, so everything in there was called for, yada yada. This was also available as a kit, but I didn't buy it as a kit, I kitted it up myself. It is all the called for, and it is nearly completely stitched as charted. With all the DMC is charted, except for the white. I switched the white out for white silk. Fancy, but I just hate white DMC. It's so awful to stitch with. Well, Anchor is much better. Tried that one too. I've heard that the Cosmo or Cosmos floss, the one from Japan, is better, but I can't get that. So we will never know. But I switched the white out, so that is actually not completely stark white and it's silk. And I changed this the winter cup. I changed this one up and recharted the snowflakes on it, because what they had charted was in this peachy color on the blue, and it looked more like flowers, so I did not like that very much. But other than that, this is as charted with all the beads as charted, so yes, Rachel, the fox cup really is the cutest. It really is the cutest. Even if you don't like the rest of the chart, the fox chart as a little ornament or standalone thing is so cute. But I have to say, I also like the matcha one with the cherry blossoms. It's also very, very pretty. And the fabric for this one is Picture This Plus Opal. Once again in 28 count. If you have to deal with beads, I would always recommend that you use a 28 or a 32 count, but yeah, thank you. This is getting annoying. She laid down on my hand again. For hand dyed, I would really say go with 28, because hand dyed. Yes, I use scroll frames. You will see that with the whips coming up, Elamik. With the hand dyed, they shrink when they are dyed, so they are actually closer to a 30 count anyway. And when you use a 32 hand dyed, it can be a bit too small for the beads and they will sit weirdly. It's not so much of an issue if you have beads like this that are scattered around the piece. But for example, I'm also right now working on a Mirabilia, and I'm planning to start a chatelaine pretty soon. If you have beads sitting right next to each other and they don't exactly fit, you will have trouble with getting them to sit like you want them to, because they are made of glass, so they have no wiggle room. And now, Lola, what are we going to do now? Yeah, I know. Purr. Going to try to get that out here. I think this was the stitch along I did last year that gave me the most trouble, because I never fully connected with it. Usually I click very well with the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, but the cups just never really got me. Okay, then we have a big one. This is a really big one. This is the... I'm sorry, cat. This is the Alice in Wonderland free stitch along by Owl Forest. You can still get the pattern for free. They have floss kits you can buy, ranging from stitching on 28 count to 40 count, because obviously you will need less floss if you stitch on a 40 count. And there are two versions. This is the colorful one, and there's also a 3-color version. 3 or 4, I think it was 3. Though I'll be honest, that 3-color version looks very creepy to me. I'm not a fan. The call for fabric for this is Vintage Country Mocha by Swigert. That's what you see here in 32 count. And this is stitched with most of the called for threads. I just added in a whole lot of gold. So I started it with the bunny. That was, I think, like the 3rd part. And I added the gold around his watch and for his buttons. And then I decided to add in the gold wherever I thought it would fit. So I made the key gold. And then I didn't do any gold for these 2 parts. But I added it into the mushroom. Doesn't show very well on camera, but it actually is pretty on when you look at it directly. Hello, Raven. Yeah, kitty down the rabbit hole. The last part was the red green, so I exchanged all the yellow in her dress for gold as well, and it does not show up at all. Kitty, you have literally dragged stuff across the whole desk now. Then we have added some gold around the plates just to make them really fancy and stand out a little more. And then here, this was absolutely my favorite part. The Cheshire Cat. Isn't he just the most beautiful, chunky, purple Cheshire Cat? The mustache? I'm dead. I saw that and I was just dead. And he had golden eyes, so you probably can't see that either, because stupid light. But I didn't want him to have orange eyes, so I gave him golden eyes. And then of course we have the big teacup up here with a little bit of gold. And then I really thought about making this whole tablecloth lace thing gold up here, but I didn't have enough of the golden Kreinik left, sadly. It probably would have been a little bit too much anyway. So he is just the Cheshire Cat is just, he's live. He's really live. I am thinking about making a big pillow with him. You can, if you stitch, for example, this is all stitched 2 over 2 strands, but you can stitch, for example, on Ada and make it 6 threads, I think, over 2 boxes. Makes giant stitches, but it will be a very big, cute throw pillow in the end, because the cat will be this big, I think. So this is something I'm toying with, but it would use a lot of floss. So thinking about that, but probably not doing it anytime soon. So if you want this pattern, just hop over to Owl Forest. It is still free. It will probably be forever free, because their Wizard of Oz thing is still free, and it has been for years. So you're welcome, Haley. You are very welcome. Second to last one. And the camera is off again. Oh god. This is just so annoying. Oh, not second to last one. Ha, I lied. And it switched over to photo again. So this was another free one. This is the Cunning Cross Stitch by Stuart Cunningham. Animal Crossing stitch along he did this year. Last year. He's not doing one this year, because if I remember correctly, he is working on the next Choose Your Own Adventure one, and these, of course, take a lot of time to plan out and stuff. But he did 2 last year. One was the Magic Kingdom, and the other one was Animal Crossing, and I decided to do the Animal Crossing because I love this game. I've loved it since Wild World, which has been ages ago. God, when was that released? I'm so old. I stitched this with the called for DMC on a 28 count Quaker cloth, which is a linen, but I don't think it is actually 100% linen. It's a bit of a weird fabric, so don't ask me. Yes, Braven, they do. They are probably one of my favorite companies out there, and I will talk about them in not just VIPs, but also plans. Yeah, hi. Yeah, I thought so. This pattern that you can't see right now because a fluffy cat is lying on top of it was actually a lot of fun to stitch, but also super painful. So this has so many fractional stitches. It is crazy. Fractional stitches and color changes like they are going out of style. Sometimes they don't even make a whole lot of sense because the shades are so close to each other that you can't see the transition. And yeah, so if I were to stitch this again, I would use less shades for sure. Thank you for removing yourself from the stitching. Yeah, so this is this one. It's also a free one. It will stay free if you're interested in that. You can go to, if you put it in Google, you will find the Culling Cross Stitch. He has moved from his blog over to a website. I think it's cullingcrossstitch.co.uk, but I'm not entirely certain. Sip of coffee real quick. So now the second to last one. And that is Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower, Janine McGowan. That woman is a genius. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I don't think she has released a pattern that is not beautiful so far. And this was one that spoke to me instantly. I started this in May 2020. It was one of my Stitch Mania patterns. And I finished it this year in October for the 100-hour marathon that we did. So this was my piece for that. And I got it done in that time. When I started, I had this border here, this corner part, and the border on the left. And the rest I did in this 100-hour marathon. This was also kind of a little bit painful. I started out with all the called for threads, which are all over dyed, and this is on a 40 count extra design. Don't ask me which color. I can't remember, brown something or old something. But some of the colors were just very, very drab. So for example, I switched in this red here. This was initially stitched in this color, which is Old Amethyst, and I think that my batch was just very, very boring. That was supposed to be more purple than it actually was, but it just looked horrible, so I switched that out. I switched out a lot of it, actually. Switched out and switched around, so I know that I switched the colors for these little flowers here. I know that that was not originally in there. I'm not sure if I added the yellow in, but I think I added a second yellow one in. So I changed a lot. If you want the whole story, it's all on Instagram in October. It was a pain. It was a lot of frogging. But I think like this, I actually like it. The colors are still very rich on the jewel tone side, but they are not as brown as they came out. And I think this is much better. In my little opinion. Are you getting ready to sit down again on my faces here? Oh, no. Getting ready to kill the computer instead. That's a good one. So yeah, this was one of my favorite finishes this year. And last but not least, the most favorite one. The cat. And that's the Dark Queen of the Sea. This was the stitch along by Autumn Lane Stitchery. They started last year in September and it ran through August this year. This was another one I kept up with and I just love this one. It is giant. It is a lot of stitches. It is thankfully mostly full stitches. So Erin has a few fractional stitches in her face and around her body. But dumb camera going away again. But it's really just mostly here in her face and around her arms, and the rest is not so bad. There isn't a whole lot of backstage in there as well. At least until you come down here to her tentacles, where Erin put a lot of backstage in Treasure Braid of all things. So he actually charted these magic symbols like tattoos on her tentacles in this color here, in the light blue. But I decided not to do that. You can hear the full story in my last Flosstube, which I recorded sometime in early autumn, I think. It's such a mess. I stitched this in most of the called for flosses. I just switched out one color here in her magic up here because it was not completely charted in Etoile. It's two colors. It's 823 and it is 310. And I think that the which one was in Etoile? Was it the 310? Oh, whatever. I stitched both of those in 310 in Etoile. Also, I kept up with what Erin charted until part 8, and then I went a bit off the rails because that was the infamous part where the corners came into play, and yeah, they were a no-go. That whole part was a no-go. I didn't like the corners, I didn't like the crown he had charted. So yeah, didn't do that. And then after the fact, I also went in because the corners were supposed to give her an Art Nouveau frame style thing. That's why he cut the corals off. He cut them off right here. So everything here was supposed to go in a straight line. And then on the other side as well. I went back afterwards and changed the corals to unline them and just make them more natural on the sides, because it of course looked weird without the corners. Other than that, I changed out the yellow tone here in the trident. I made this a little less comic yellow and a bit more gold yellow. And I think that's about it. More changes I didn't make. She is perfection. A lot of work too. Especially that one part, I think it was this whole part here, when he released that was something like, put it in the screen, that helps. That was like 5,000 stitches or something. This was crazy, and it was one drop. Completely crazy. She still isn't framed. I've had the frame now for 4 months. She still isn't framed. I really need to get to that. And that's all the finishes of 2021. Not as many as some other people had, but I'm also pretty much someone who starts something and wants to finish it before moving on to the next thing. So I guess under that light, it's plenty. So I promised you something of a whip parade with my whooping 4 whips that I have. I carried over okay, creative mommy of two. I carried over my Forever After, I think is the official name. I have it here, I'm prepared. Forevermore, sampler by Long Dog Samplery. That's another one I started in May 2020 and haven't touched since, so I really need to get back to it. This is a 4-page pattern and I've finished 1 page and a little bit. There's a little critter here. Go away. On this, so this is basically a quarter done. This is the next whip I'm going to work on once I am done with the current one on my frame. Maybe even on... It seems like this weekend is going to be the first 20 hours of cross stitch for this year. And this might be a good pattern for that. Thinking about it. So this is my Guilt the Boyfriend into a Marriage Proposal sampler. It's not going to work, but hey, I thought if I'm never going to get married, I can still stitch a sampler. And I chose this one because it's not a super big thing. I wanted to try out Long Dog, but I didn't want to start with something like the Pilgrim or Pandemic or whatever, because they are so big and a bit daunting. This is actually quite manageable. The floss is Silks for You. It is, I don't have the number with me, but it's their ecru to beige transition, and it's really pretty. The fabric is hand dyed by Rolanda, so it doesn't have a name. She it's back from when she only did one-of-a-kind stuff. She now has a few fabrics I think she can recreate, but most of her stuff is one-of-a-kind, and that's one of them. And it's such a pretty blue. It's really so pretty. It's one of the fabrics I knew if I didn't put something on quick, I would never stitch anything on it, because I wanted to save it up for something special. So that's why I decided to stitch something on it quick. So that's the first one. I think this is also the oldest whip, but only by a few days, if at all. And the camera went off again. Oh god. Yeah, I know, I'm so unprofessional. You are right. Don't kiss me. So basically the same age, because it was also started in May 2020, is the Yoga Corn sampler. This is another whip that I carried over, and I have worked on this in January. I put the purple Yoga Corn up here in week before last. I had finished the first 3, so this is a 3-part pattern by Little Room in the Attic on Etsy, and she released them in groups of 3. So there are 9 in total, and I had stitched Yoga Corns 2 last year, finished the 3rd one last year sometime, and I wanted to stitch all 9 of them. So I have moved over to the first pattern now, which is this one here, and the first unicorn is done. And this thing, every single time when I stitch one of the Yoga Corns, I think, why am I working on this so little? Because this is so much fun to stitch, and then the Kreinig and the backstitch comes in. And I know why. Because this is painful. This is so painful. To give you a bit of a close-up, you can see what I mean. Can you see all these backstitch lines? Some of them are 1 strand, one of them are 2, some of them are 3, and some of them are freaking 4. There's backstitch with Kreinig 2. You can probably see that there in the hair. And it is just complete insanity. But it is so pretty once it's done. So I hope that in the end I'm going to be so happy and so proud to have the sampler in my possession. So I'm trying. I really want to finish it this year. I'm going to try and get myself to do one yogurt corn per month, hopefully. So yeah, check mark for January. In February, if I really feel very masochistic, I'm going to do this one here on the right. At least those who don't have curls. The yogurt corns with the curly hair, they are even worse with the backstitch. Yeah, Rachel. You can laugh, but you still have to do some of them too. If I remember correctly. Yeah, thank you. I hope I'm saying your name right. Ithami? Ithami? No TH at all? I have no idea. But thank you very much. It is very beautiful, but it is very, very painful. I love the patterns that Little Room in the Attic does, but they are like, all of them are like that. All of them have Kreinik, all of them have insane amounts of backstitch. So be prepared if you want to do one of them. You are going to feel the pain. It's a bit like childbirth. I've heard it's worth it in the end. But that is my other one I carried over from 2020 actually, and I want to finish it this year. I have 5 more to do, so let's see. 5 more to do and 11 months left of the year. Next one is the Plum Street Sampler Stack Sampler. Ooh, laundry, yeah. No fun. I have a pile of laundry in my bathroom. I'm going to get to that sometime. Yeah, it's going to take a long time to stitch those yogurt corns. So another one, the yogurt corns was already one that I'm stitching together with Rachel and Jessie. But this is another thing that we decided to stitch together. Another thing to prove that I'm the crazy one out of the 3 of us, because we decided to stitch Fox View together to see the differences, how we all approach pieces like that. And of course, my idiotic brain went, why just stitch Fox View? I could do a whole sampler of stacks. Yeah. At least I'm done with Fox View, right? Yeah. So the plan is, I'm sorry, but I have to put that on your foot. The plan is to either do hedgerow, which is the little hedgehogs, next, or the raccoon rebel. Because those 2 are going to go in the same row with the foxes. And then I'm going to do 2 more rows above and below the foxes. Yeah, I mean, this household is only a 2-people household, but I have a cat. Her name is Nellie, and her favorite hobby is throwing up in the bed. I love that cat. I'm going to strangle her one day. Hi, Kim. Thank you for joining. Oh yeah, work break. Sorry. Work sucks. And I think we are back on camera off. I really need to fix that for the next time, because this is ridiculous. The hedgehogs are so cute. I was completely sold on them when I saw all the little pricks, the needles, because they are just, they are amazing. And as the pattern reads, you're actually supposed to put them in like you like, so this is going to be interesting. Yeah, work really is a dirty word. It really is a dirty word, Haley. And I probably shouldn't say that too loud because I am actually not working right now. Sorry, not sorry. Lovable heathen overlords. Yep, that's a pretty good description actually. I don't know why Nelly always does that. She is not. It's not like she is eating her food too fast or anything like that, but she's always been a buker, and for whatever reason, she likes to do it in the bed. Although the worst thing about it is that once she's done that, she comes to fetch you to show you that someone puked in the bed, and Mom, clean that up. That's the worst thing about it. Because she is then totally disgusted about it. That cat is a menace. Oh no, creative mommy. That's horrible. Um, Lola is a revenge peer. So cat litter duty is with a boyfriend because I am allergic to cats, so it was totally sane to get cats. But I told him back then, because he actually was the person who asked for the cats, I told him, you have to take care of the litter boxes, because when I do it, I have to take allergy meds afterwards. And I don't want to, because, ugh. So he is on litter duty, and he is not doing a great job, in Lola's humble opinion. And she, it depends on her mood. If she is in a good mood, she will pee in the shower, because she is not a complete a-hole. But if she is in a bad mood, she will choose something that belongs to him. Yeah, that's... He wanted the cats. Yeah, back to this piece. Stitched with a called for, and this is a fabric by Fortnite Fabrics. I had both their clubs last year for the colorful and the neutral fabric. So this is one of the mushroom neutrals, but I have long since forgotten what the color is called. I'll probably never know. Because the little tag is lost. Yeah, but this is Fortnite Fabrics. Those two guys actually dye beautiful fabrics, so I can highly recommend. I did get their club 2 years in a row. I just stopped last year when all these horrible VAT shenanigans started, because they are no fun at all. But as far as the fabric goes, I probably would have collected more and more and more. I already own a fabric shop, but who cares? So this is also stitched on a 36 count, I should say, because I got that 36 count. Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, because it's never good when one of your kitties has issues. It's just like a kid. You just want them to be well. So last whip that got carried over is my first Mirabilia I'm stitching on, and it is actually the Cathedral Woods Goddess. Yeah, hi Lola. And she is so beautiful. She was my high tea new start in 2020 for October 1st, and I literally just stitched this one day on her and have not picked her up. The stacks, yeah, they are extremely cute. They are. Yeah, so this one needs some love this year. I want to finish her this year. So I hope I will pick her up soon. The next one I'm going to stitch on, like I said, is going to be the wedding sampler, but I'm going to stitch on this one soon. They are not worse, creative mommy. They are not worse. They are just your loving overlords who need to be catered to. So this is going to be stitched, because this is literally one color I've stitched so far, and all the called for. And this is a piece of winter morning 28 count opalescent linen from Crafty Kitty. Crafty Kitten? Crafty Kitten. Crafty Kitten is a dyer from the UK, and she has such beautiful fabrics, but something is going on with her right now. She hasn't posted on her group in months, and she's not dyeing right now, so I'm not sure what's going on, but you can't get anything from her at the moment, which is very sad, because she really has beautiful fabrics. Yeah, I have this horrible addiction to mirabilias, as you're going to see soonish here. This is the only one I've started so far, but by far not the only one I've kitted up. This is just the first one that I fell in love with, so it was the first one I bought and the first one I kitted up, etc. pp. Finding this fabric alone took me, I think, a year. It was insane. Absolutely insane. So this has also not just DMC, just oh god, camera. Oh gosh, this is so dumb, so dumb. Ah. No, very dumb. This pattern doesn't just have DMC, as you can see. There is Caron Water Lilies, which is a silk. There's Krynic, and there's also going to be a lot of beads in this one. So Cathedral Wood Goddess is actually one of the patterns that is very Krynic and bead heavy. Just a little warning, because there are some that don't have so much of that stuff. I think there are even some that don't have any Krynic at all. But this one, yeah, why not dive right into it? But they are actually pretty easy to stitch, as far as I can tell so far. As you can see, I even decided to color complete on her skirt. And it's actually pretty easy to do, because they are not complicated. So that was kind of surprising, because I was afraid to start one for the longest time. So these are all my old whips. And then I guess we have a couple of new starts / whips. I have decided this year that I wanted to do dark 13 stitching. Dark 13 is something that Julie from Kansas City Girl in the Colorado World started with one of her stitchy friends a few years back, I think, where they decided that they are going to stitch on something Halloween related on each 13th of the month. And if the month had a 31st, that they were going to stitch on that day as well. And I wanted to join in 2020 and in 2021 and never did. And this year, on a whim, I decided I'm going to do that. And this is, the cat is of course now lying on the pattern. This is the Midnight Watch by Blackbird Designs. And I have decided not to stitch the alphabet down here. So this part just completely delete it from your mental picture of this, and just imagine the border going around here, and that's what I'm going to stitch. And I kitted this one up with a piece of fabric by Extra Design once again. This is very confusing. The pattern is called Midnight Watch and the fabric is called Midnight Ride. And with all the called for flosses, they are all over dyed. So they are a mixture of Gentle Arts, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Color Works. And I started this month on the 13th. Stitched a little bit on the 14th as well, but most of this was done on the 13th. And I'm going to pick this up again on the 31st. Off camera, why are you washing out the blue? I decided to go with the blue fabric because I was not so sure if I actually liked the the color of the house on this very beige fabric. So that's why I went with the blue. I'm agonizing a lot about how do these flosses look on fabric, so this is a running theme with me. Other than that, yeah, I think there's not much to say about this quite yet. Stitching the house first, because houses are also not my most favorite thing in the world, so I always tell Jessie and Rachel I'm a reward-driven kind of person, so I usually do the things I dislike the most first, so I can reward myself with something I like a lot in the end. Yeah, creative mommy. I think whenever I can avoid doing alphabets, I am going to do that. I know why alphabets are in samplers, because that's what samplers originally were supposed to be. You were supposed to practice your stitching, and alphabets were a part of that, but I find them just dumb. So, and this one particularly doesn't need them. So sometimes the letters are strewn in, and they even kind of make sense, but yeah. In this one, I just thought they can just fudge off. So that's what we did. And then the last one that I've been working on for the last 6 days is, ooh, careful cat, is another owl forest. It is not attacking you, cat. Is another owl forest. This is one of the 4 seasonal kits. Cat, don't. And I decided to start with winter. This is snowy winter. Yeah, Jessie. I wish I could train you too, because it's actually a nice system. You always have something to look forward to. But I know not everyone works like that, so it's just fine. Yeah, there are 4 kits, one for each season, and I decided to start with winter. The interesting thing about these kits is the center, because the center is special stitches. So for this one we have these chain stitches in the sleeve. We have the are they called satin stitches? Not sure. And this is called a camera that just went off. We have French knots. We have some lazy daisies there in the presents, the bows. And of course there's this lacy stuff going on here. So a lot of interesting stitches. Only took hours to do. But it was a lot of fun. The purple is Persian violet. Persian violet. This is a color you can actually buy from them directly. They this is once again a kit, so it came with the fabric, with the floss, with everything. And they also sell their floss on the Our Forest page, but they don't have all the colors available. So sometimes you have a color in a kit and you can't buy it, but Persian violet is one that you can get. The violet is very pretty, but I have to say I'm also very much in love with the blue. The blue is called Chicorée. And if you look at that on the side, it doesn't look anything like it does here on the piece. It looks very turquoise on the website, and this is a blue with a bit of teal. Yeah, that's alright, Amy. I mean, I'm just glad that it's working mostly now, even if the camera dies every few minutes because sleep mode. I wish this was working a little bit better. Yeah, the colors are very, very well chosen. I'm very happy with this. I think there are 9 colors, but it looks like a lot less because they are very close to each other. Still, they work very well together. I like the reds, purples, and blues with the greens. The one color that gives me a bit of anxiety is the is this one here. It looks a bit more contrasty on camera than it does in real life. And while stitching it, I'm always thinking, it does disappear into the fabric. But it works. It works. I'm trusting the system. So this is something I have decided to do this year. I want to stitch one of these kits each quarter. So I started with winter because we are still in winter, and I want to start and do the spring one in April, and then the summer one in July, and so on. So by the end of the year, the series should be complete. This is stitched on a 28 count fabric. I'm kind of wondering why, because it could easily have been done on the 32 and not be this big, because this is going to be 38 by 38 centimeters, which is like 15 by 15 inch. That is pretty big. But it is beautiful, and I enjoy stitching on this very much right now. So I have posted pictures on Instagram up to this corner here, and today I've stitched this little part here. I feel like the light is getting really bad, and I don't know why. I just will hold my arm into here, and then the camera will adjust to a better lighting. How about that? So this is actually much closer to what it looks like. Perfect. This one I've stitched today, and I hope that I can get the next ornament up here in there. Do I have a picture? Yes, I do. Maybe I can just show that. How about that? So this is what the full thing is going to look like once it's done. So I'm hoping to stitch this purple thing here today before the day is over. Yeah, it's a plan. It's a plan, Nadine. Let's see how far we get with that. I have another plan. So speaking of plans, because this is my last project, my last new start I have right now, let's talk about plans a little bit, because I have a lot of them. And the cat has made a disaster out of this. So you've heard it from Rachel before. We are both going to start the Japanese San Moss Garden chatelaine. This is a very bad picture of what it's going to look like, and I'm very sorry about that, but I don't have a color printer right now. Black and white is the best I can do. But that's what it's going to look like. And actually I wanted to start this on January 1st, but being the nut that I sometimes am, I forgot to order my fabric and DMC before my ONS went on winter break. So I just received the rest of my materials a week or so ago, and this is all the stuff I need for this, minus some of the beads. I don't have all the beads yet. This is a ginormous bag of floss and fabric and stuff. This is a project bag by Evertoad in Canada, and I thought this is one of my favorite ones because kitties, that would be a good choice for this project. So, and now I have a giant piece of fabric. I am stitching mine on white linen, and Rachel is going to stitch hers on black Jobelin, right? So we are going to show the difference, how it looks stitched on light and dark fabric. I'm pretty sure it's going to look amazing on the black, but black fabric is just the devil, so I'm not going to do that. Jessie was the fabulous person who compiled all the special flosses for us. So this is the package I got from her. This is all the silks, all the cotton floss from some very special over dye company dyers. There's a lot of good stuff in here. And then I still had to get all the DMC. So I kitted the DMC up from Stash. That's the bobbins and little baggies back here. And then I had to get a whole lot of that. So that's what I was waiting on. The big problem is going to be the beads, because they are all, no, not all. Some of them are just Delica beads from Mayuki, so those are easy to get, but all the Swarovski stuff is going to be hard to get. So what I've got so far is I have the bicones in Crystal AB and in Light Sapphire. I have the center flower and I have the cubes in the requested color, and I have the bicones in the light vitriol color. And that's all I have so far. The Swarovski stuff, Swarovski has decided no longer to sell any of their crystals and beads to craft stores, so they want to become, I don't know, a high brand again. They decided that it was below their, beneath them to basically supply crystals to not high-end causes. Let's put it that way. You could say they were uptight a-holes, but that's just me. So that's the issue behind getting the beads now, because they stopped supplying Europe first, I believe, and the US last. So if you're in the US, you might still be lucky to be able to source most of the beads, but the shops are running out now. And there are some companies that will probably step in at some point. Preciosa from Czech Republic is the first that comes to mind, but they don't have all the stuff that Swarovski used to make, so there are gaps. And this is going to get interesting in the future. So the cat is now lying on the project bag. That is good. Let her lie there. Caroline's project bags are very magnetic for cats. I've heard that before, I've seen that with mine, so maybe if she is allowed to lie on the bag now, she will leave us in peace. Hopefully. So that is the plan for February 1 now. February 1st. Jeez, need to drink something. To finally start the shuttle in. And let's see how many years that's going to take. Because this is not going to be a start to finish project, for sure. It's going to have a lot of special stitches and stuff, and I think it's going to be a big headache that is going to look awesome in the end. So, next planned thing for February is going to be Owl Forest Swan Lake. That's what it looks like. Because February is also February. So we are stitching on something with birds. And I picked out the Swan Lake because it had all the swans. Sorry for the way this box looks like. It has gotten into a quarrel with something. It's got a new design out of it. Yeah, so I decided to go with this one because it's one of the kits I own that has more than just a random bird in there. So I thought it was very fitting. And also I am very much looking forward to stitching with these blues and purple. Very pretty. So this I am going to start probably February 2nd or something like that. Depends on how the shuttle-in goes. I have really no idea what to expect from the shuttle-in. I don't know if I should run for the hills or if I'm going to love it. But we will see. So this is a set plan, not a maybe, just like the shuttle-in. And then something that is also going to happen very soon is this pattern here, the Up All Night from Tiny Modernist. This is a pattern that Rachel has lended me. It came from one of the Black Needle Society boxes. I think it was the, what's it called? Up All Night box. So I want to give it back to her. So I'm going to try and stitch this very soon so that I can send it back. I have to check if I have these colors in my stash. I think I mostly do. But I'm usually not very lucky, so this has 8 colors and I'm probably missing 4 of them because that's the running theme. Yeah, and I have to see, I probably have some fabric. Yeah, the number of DMC was crazy. I thought I have so many of them, probably I don't need to order a whole lot. Yeah, no. The number of thread I had to order was just crazy bonkers. So this is also a set plan. I just have to pick out the fabric and see if I have all the floss. And I think this is going to stitch up very fast because this is a pretty smallish pattern. It is 71 by 99 and it's not very dense. So this should be hopefully done very quickly. So another thing I want to do quarterly because I'm just that mad person. I stitched the Sea King, but I want to do the other 3. And I have the digital patterns for those. So the Sea King is one of them, and then you have the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. This is their villain series, by the way. Oh, this is so bad. This is the Snow Queen. And it's so bad. I'm so sorry. I really need to get a color printer. Oh, this is even worse. And this is the Sarkache? I have no idea how to say that. So I apologize for the really bad printouts. But I want to do these 3 as well. I couldn't get the kits for those, so I'm kitting those up myself, and we are hitting the Swarovski issue again, but also another fun thing. Owl Forest names some of the beads in the pattern by name and company, so those you can probably get unless you live in a country where it's generally very hard to get beads. But all the official Czech beads and stuff, you can get them. That's not a problem. But they only they also use Chinese crystal beads, and they don't have names. So you have to just either search your bead stores and see if something fits the photo, or you have to go on AliExpress. I personally recommend AliExpress because you will get the beads very cheap. And at least those are not bootlegs, so it's safe to buy them. And then you have Swarovski. Thankfully, not too much. So there is a bit of Swarovski in the Queen of Hearts, and there is a bit of Swarovski in the Snow Queen. And if you plan to stitch the Queen of Hearts, I would recommend that you get on sourcing this heart very, very quickly, because the shops are running out of that, and I have not seen another company make those in red yet. So I've seen that Preciosa has started making them, but right now you can only get Crystal, Crystal AB, and there's a third color, but it's also a neutral color. And they have not started making them in red yet. I'm going to leave the link to the AliExpress shop that I used. I don't know if these are bootlegs or not, but at least they look exactly like they are supposed to look. So if you want to get those, get on it quick. Then there is something in the Queen of Hearts that is I have not seen this in any shop that I can order from. So these are these resin roses, and they have a hole. So you will get a lot of these roses as cabochons without a hole, but you need one that has a hole to sew it on the piece, obviously. And they need to be 10 millimeter in size. I'm also going to leave the link down below. This is what I could find. Matches the photos pretty well. It might be slightly darker. I don't know. But at least I found them. And then for the Snow Queen, she had another Swarovski focus crystal, which I so far have not found. I got this one this year, but it's not exactly the correct form. That's not the exact shape that you need. You actually need, I think it's called a navette. Or this is a navette, and what you need one with corners. That's what I'm trying to say. I was not able to find that yet. I found one shop that still has the original Swarovski, so I'm trying to get that next, but that shop is in Austria, so... And then there are these, also supposed to be from Swarovski. I again purchased these from AliExpress because I couldn't get any Swarovski anymore. The color is called Moonlight. Again, going to leave the link down below just in case you want to source them for yourself, because this is getting harder and harder now. Everything else, Owl Forest sadly does not say which fabric to use. I have decided that for the SAR, I'm going to use Picture This Plus, I think it was Nocturne. And for... do I still have it open? Let me see if I still have it open. I have. And for Snow Queen, I'm going to use Ariel. And I'm thinking for the Queen of Hearts, Doubloon. I have to see how that fabric looks in person. I'm waiting for a restock to see how that looks. But these are the fabrics I am currently thinking to use for the 3 pieces in case you're interested. Floss shouldn't be a problem. You can get floss kits from Owl Forest, and like I said, they say to use the DMC metallic. I would use the corresponding treasure braid. Trying to remember to put the link for the conversion thing down below. Okay. Oh, this is quite behind. Oh wow, we've been on for 1.5 hours already. Jesus, no wonder my throat is starting to hurt. Yeah, so this is that, and I think I'm going to try to hurry up a little bit. I have a few other things in my stash kitted up. She said, and looked at a whole pile of things. And there are a few things I plan to start this year, some things I think about starting this year, and some things I am not going to start this year. So, something I plan to start this year is the Twisted Rainbow sampler. I do not have a picture for that one, I'm sorry. But this is the Twisted Rainbow sampler by Northern Expressions. It is, Rachel is working on this right now, so if you watch her Flosstube, you have seen that. It's the version with the special stitches. This is the Dinky Die set. I got mine from Arts and Designs. And I have black linen for that. And I'm not looking forward to that because black fabric, also the devil. But I will start this at some point. I just don't know when quite yet. So we shall see. And then, kind of confused, you know, which monitor to use. This one, I think. And then I have this. This is, I think, one of the first things ever I kitted up. And I still have not started it. It's the Toil and Trouble by Plum Street Samplers. It's an oldish pattern. You can see that by the way the setup looks, because the more recent patterns all look like this. So this is an old pattern. And it's not exactly what usually would draw me in, but for some reason this just did. And I got this really ages ago. I special ordered the fabric because it was to go on Lakeside Linen Vintage Pair. Hi, Diamond Painting with Nicole. And Lakeside Linens is so hard to get. It is crazy, absolutely crazy. So I had the wonderful people over at Traditional Stitches in Canada special order this for me. It's a 40 count fabric, and yeah, I think it took like 3 months. And these are all the flosses that go in there, so all over dyed special flosses, because apparently we don't do simple and cheap anymore. The DP light pad underneath the black fabric. Yeah, Rachel keeps saying that. I have not tried that yet, but I will for sure try that out. So far, the darkest fabric I have stitched on is actually the fabric I am using for yoga corns. That one is a picture of this plus haunted. I don't think I've said that. That's the darkest I am stitching on so far, and that's already giving me trouble. And that's not even close to black, so I'm going to try and use a light pad with the black fabric, yeah, for sure. So this is going to be the next Dark 13 thing. Once I've finished with the Midnight Watch, I'm going to do this one. So this is a certain start for this year. Okie dokie, this is going to turn into such a big mess. Stuff is piling on the floor now. But my nefarious plan here still works. So, I loved stitching on the Dark Queen of the Sea. So I decided, because Autumn Lane Stitchery said that they are not going to do a stitch along this year, and that they are working on a companion piece for the Dark Queen, but that one is also not going to be released in a stitch along form. I decided to do Sakura by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Also, once again, my apologies for the bad picture, because black and white, and she is stunning because she's mostly red. Yeah, Jessie, that moss garden is giant. It is like 349 by 349 stitches, and because it has a lot of beads, you can't go smaller than a 32 count fabric-wise. So this is massive. Yeah, you're so cute. No, grumpy cat. Yeah, the specialty flosses too, yeah. That was a big investment, let's put it that way. I hope it's going to be fun to stitch. So this one is going to happen this year. Oh, looks like I've lost connection to the chat for a moment there. Interesting. Huh. I just don't have a planned start date for that yet. Oh, God. Dumb. And it happens again. Apparently the cat does not want me to show the lady. So, because you can't see the picture, I'm going to pull it out. I don't know. Probably going to make this harder on myself than I need to. So you can see she's a lot of red, purple, pink, gold. So that's her colors. And I have a piece of fabric picked out for her, but it's not in the project bag. So I'm wondering where it is right now. I picked out, it's another Crafty Kitten fabric. What was the name? Can't remember. But I have picked it out. It is a blue fabric with a little bit of peachy pink in the background, so it looks a bit like sunrise. Or maybe early sunset. They used a very pink fabric that did not jive with me at all. I think it was a picture, this plaster fabric they used. Not a fan. So I dropped one of the colors on the floor, of course. Yeah, I know. I have to check right now because I cannot see if you're still here with me. Oh, I don't know. If you can still hear me, could someone please type something in the chat? That would be amazing. Okay, I think you can still hear me, I hope. If not, I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Braven. So the next thing that is also absolutely planned to happen is another memorabilia. This is the Miss Christmas Eve. And she is very Christmassy. I just love how she looks. The one problem I have with her is I still have not found a fabric I like. Hi, Linda. Yeah, no worries. I was just a bit worried because OBS told me that I had lost the chat and nothing happened for minutes, so I wasn't sure if they actually had re-established the connection or if I was talking to the void. Very much possible. Yeah, so Miss Christmas Eve, she is on the list to happen. Got her kitted up. The one thing I do not have is a fabric, so the fabric gives me a lot of trouble. I do not like the fabric they used for her. It does need to be something in the gold direction because it jives very well with the green and with the red, and she has golden beads. Hi, Kitsune. Yeah, I'm very sorry that I'm very bad at editing videos, I should say. I think I have recorded videos for months now, but I can't get myself to edit it. My brain is very stupid at the moment. Certified stupid. So I just a couple of days ago got a piece of Picture This Pleasant Meters. I thought I would give it a try because on the webpage it looked golden, but yeah, it's orange. It's completely orange. You do? Rachel, is it a 28 count because beads? Is it? Yeah, Braven, it really is. I am currently thinking doubloon. Doubloon is very light, so it might not be yellow enough. But that's the one I'm thinking right now. And I actually managed to order a piece of 28 count, a fat quarter piece from Patchwork Rabbit, so that is in the UK. I hope that it's here kinda soonish and that it's going to be a hit, but we shall see. Fabric and I, that's it's a 32. 32 is a gamble. I can do 32 if it's not a hand dyed, like if it's straight from Zweigart, I can do 32, but hand dyed it's usually this awkward. Yeah. Okay. Whatever that was supposed to mean, Lola. It's this awkward size I'm not very good with. I don't know. There was a Mystic fabric, I think, that I thought would be perfect. Was it gilded? But yeah, I don't want to order from the US quite yet, to be honest. But you are right. This red and green is putting me in a corner. I mean, I'm fine with the golden fabric. I just have to find the one golden fabric. Yeah, kitty. We all know that you are here. So, then on to the next thing that is for certain. Something that Rachel and I want to stitch together, and yeah, she's on, Linda. Something Rachel and I want to stitch together, and we would have started it if her trip to Germany would have happened. And that is the Blue Flower and Bendy Stitchy Design collaboration, the Friendship Sampler. Yes, Jessie, and it was a very important statement. We're just too dumb to understand what she was trying to tell us. Aren't we? Yeah. Yeah, Linda, the 32 theoretically should be okay. I just said earlier that with the hand dyed, you always have the issue that these fabrics shrink. And at least the 11.0 sized beads, the 2.2 millimeter beads, they can easily become too big already with a 32. So I'm very reluctant usually to use a 32 if it's a hand dyed. And I don't like the original fabric, that wouldn't be a hand dyed, and for that one a 32 would be okay, but yeah, it's a whole thing. So yeah, this is also going to be a start for sure. Rachel, we need to think about a new starting date. I mean, I don't know about you, but I kind of don't want to wait until Easter, so probably should come up with something. I have all the floss. I have, I think, 3 fabrics for it now. I just have to decide which one to use. All work, I just have to decide which one I like the best. So these are all the for certain things for this year. And now we are going to go into maybes. Or I kind of want to first, I guess. Remember him? Iron Cat? I want to. But on the other hand, I don't want to. Because this is a full coverage piece. Ugh. I really, really want to start this one. This is my one and only Gecko Rouge kit. Got that for my birthday 2020. Keep looking at him. Really would like to do him, but on the other hand, I have hateful coverage. That doesn't keep me from constantly getting the idea that I want to do a full coverage piece, so maybe I just should take the plunge, I guess. I'm also still thinking about whether I should stitch the background or just use a dark piece of fabric. I have a 28 count from Extra Design that is a chalkboard, so it is this dark gray, just not with a gradient that it has, it is just modeled, so thinking about it. Chaotic about the Iron Cat or about the Friendship Sampler? I'm such a nerd. There's actually a piece that Jenny Parks has done that is all the original Avengers as cats. And if I'm honest, I want that one. But I'm really not fond of anything that's full coverage. I haven't done a full coverage piece, but every time I have to stitch something that is very, very dense coverage, I'm already very much in hate with it. So yeah. Say yes to the full coverage. Is this your full coverage? Yes. Yeah, I'm very tempted because I want him. I absolutely want him. Yeah, Chaotic. Your mom and I, we probably are twins. Because I absolutely love Iron Man and I absolutely love cats. And the first time I saw Jenny Parks, which has been years ago, I knew one day I had to get this. And I did. And now I don't know if I want to stitch it or not. Another maybe. This is a kit I got a long time ago. I think this was actually my first Flosstube ever. This is a kit by Philanthrope. This is Natural Beauty 3. Interestingly, this is number 3, but it was released first. So there is a 1 and 2, and I think the 2 has been released. I'm not sure about the 1. But I got this a long time ago, and I really would like to start this. The thing that has kept me from doing so far is the fact that the fabric is printed, and I am kind of paranoid about not placing the stitching right on it. And I know I should not be paranoid about that, but I am. This is actually on Jobelin. So Jessie keeps telling me that Jobelin is actually nice to stitch on because I have a huge hate for Lugana. But I think you see what I mean. This is printed fabric, and I'm kind of afraid that I'm going to put it wrong on here. I mean, there is some kind of mark here. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if this is supposed to mark the middle point. Not entirely sure. I have to look at it closer because I really want to do this one. It is so gorgeous. That I own this one is actually Michelle's fault. Michelle Bendy Stitchy. Because she had this kit. I think she also started it and then destashed it. But she had it and showed it on her Flosstube at some point, and I just madly fell in love with it and got it. This has also a different kind of floss. This is with Aurifil floss. Never dealt with this before, so kinda excited to see where that goes. I mean, she probably also sells prints, Chaotic. I have not looked into it, but she probably also sells prints. Because that cross stitch is giant. She sells all the cats on her own. Well, Gecko Rouge does. She herself doesn't. But Gecko Rouge has all the cats on their own. They also have a couple of Spider-Man cats. And then they have this group image. And it's tempting. I mean, the Hulk is a giant Persian cat. A green Persian cat. It's amazing. Then we have another plum stitch sampler. Rest a while. I'm going to take that out of the bag because it's very, very shiny. Also, it's a bag and a bag. So it's this little fox here. This is one of the newer patterns. I think this was only released a few months ago, and I absolutely love this. It is just so fun. And I happen to have all but one of the colors. So all I need to do now is pick a fabric and wait until this one color is back in stock. And it's not a huge investment. But yeah, this is probably something I'm going to, if I have the time, stitch towards the autumn. Yeah, it is amazing. It is really amazing. Hulk was the green Persian. Natasha is a red tabby. What was Captain America? Can't remember. Hawkeye was a gray cat. And Thor. Was Thor something fluffy? I just looked at it, but yeah, I didn't retain the information. I mean, you will never be able to forget the green Persian cat. That's an image that is forever burned into your brain. Oh, and she also has a Black Panther cat. So that is for sure one I'm going to get one day, if the Iron Cat goes well. For my EU peeps, some shops in the UK have now started to realize that they can just remove the UK VAT from their items if they sell to someone who is not in the UK. Gecko Rouge is a shop that does that. So if you order from them, they are going to remove the VAT, and then they will send it to you like that, so you don't have to pay double VAT. Just in case you're interested. Linda, what fabric are you planning for rest while? It is probably going to be, let's see, what's the call for? It's probably going to be one of the fortnights, or maybe a fabric from X2 Design. But the called for is Oatmeal by Fiber on Whim, and it is a 36 count they call for. I usually also go with the 36 count because that's a good size to stitch with just one thread. That's how I like it. But I think I'm going to use either one of the neutral fortnights I have, or one of the X2s I have, because I have quite a few 36 and 40 count fabrics. So that's what I'm going for. This green cat is something you can't unsee. For sure. But it's amazing. Interestingly, this is not as big as the Firefly piece she has. She has a group piece of the whole Firefly crew, which is also absolutely amazing. But that kit is something like close to 400 euros, I think. So it's giant, and the Avengers is 160 or so. So much smaller. The price obviously depends on the size and amount of floss and stuff. So, and then I was kind of surprised by how many Mirabilia kits I have created. I of course want to stitch them all, but they are all just very tentative maybes for this year. I don't think I will get to all of them. So this was actually supposed to be the first I ever stitched, because I thought a house would be easy. This is also not something that goes under the label of Mirabilia. Nora Corbett releases those under just her name. But of course it's always the same designer, and it's got the Mirabilia label down here. So I don't know what the difference really is in the end. But this is, what's the name on here? This is the Gothic house from her Holiday Village. And I thought this would be a nice and easy one to start out on. And then I learned that I do not enjoy stitching houses overly much. So I will do it one day, but it wasn't going to be the first one I started out with. But I have all the floss, it's not too many. So if you do not want to start out with a project that has a ton of stuff, this is actually a good one. Though they have a lot of beads, as you can see. They have a lot of beads. And it also has this Mill Hill treasure. These things are so freaking expensive. I'm always a bit miffed when I have to buy these Mill Hill beads, but because Mill Hill gets their beads from, I don't know if it is Mayuki or if it is Toho, but they get their beads from one of the two Japanese suppliers. And the price they sell them at is ridiculous in comparison what you have to pay for Mayuki and Toho. And Mayuki and Toho are already expensive compared to Czech and Chinese beads, so I'm always very if I have to buy them in these little boxes here for like nearly €3. Which, yeah. But one day I will be able to do a conversion table. So far I haven't found a good one. These are all the beads that go in there. I think that's also a reason why I got this one. I like beading, so I thought I would get a bead heavy thing to start out with, which obviously I didn't start out with. But yeah, that is one of the kit in this bag. And it's going to be done one day, but we don't know when. I am pretty sure it's not going to be 2022. Oh, the cat has left us. And now she's trying to get around the mountain of crafty stuff on the floor. And the second piece in this bag is another Nora Corbett. This is the Rain Queen from the Black Forest Pixies. 2 reasons I had to get that. I live on the outskirts of the Black Forest, and also this is a great companion piece to the Cathedral Woods Goddess. There is actually another piece that is from this series that looks a lot like the Cathedral Woods Goddess. It's just a bit simpler, and I think she took that one and juiced that up a little bit and re-released it as the Cathedral Woods Goddess. So I thought they would go very well together. I've seen a lot of people who've stitched this who left out the wings. Kind of wonder why. I mean, you don't have to stitch them. She looks good with them. But I wonder why people leave them out. Bye, Jessie. I will try my best to get through this very quickly so I don't interfere with your lunch break live on Twitch. But this one is not fully kit up yet. This is a bit different. I have a fabric for it, but I don't have the floss yet. I have the special thread and I have the fabric, but I don't have the floss yet. So this is an outlier. This is Sparkling Diamonds, again by Crafty Kitten. And like I said, she does wonderful fabric. I'm sad that she currently has vanished from the face of the earth. And then my last one in this bag is the South Sea Mermaids. I have recently learned that this is now out of print. So apparently I have something very special here. This is also only partially kitted up. So it's only kitted up with the DMC and with the Kreinik. I still need to get a poop ton of beads. So this is the beading list. It's kind of long. Cat, are you eating my craft stuff? So yeah, I don't think this is going to happen this year either, but it could if I just purchased the beads. Okay, next bag. Those have, by the way, all been ever tote bags. There's a bit of a theme here. So this one is something you have seen on this channel before. This is the Snowy Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks. I started this one in May 2020, but I started it on a piece of Lugana and I hated it to pieces, so I RIP'd this one. And I'm planning to restart it, and I have everything here. I could start it any day. I just have to decide if I want to go with Pole Stitches Silver Lining fabric, which looks like this, or if I just want to go with, this is probably just Pearl Grey, Kasha Linen by Spygard. But other than this, this is fully kitted up and could be started any day. Maybe I should put this on the "this is going to happen" pile. Because this was actually going to happen last year. She said. So that's the only thing in that bag. But this one here, I think, has also 3 projects. This is the floss. And this is the pattern. It's the Snow Queen. Again, Mirabilia. I have all the floss. I do not have the beads yet. This is another pattern that has a crap ton of beads. You can see all this here is beads and treasures. It's so much. So I haven't gotten that yet, and I have not... I have a piece of fabric. Damn it, I forgot it. I have a big piece of Extra Design, a little dove, I think it's called, something like that. It's a gray piece of fabric. So I have the fabric, I have the floss, I have the pattern. The only thing I don't have yet, but I don't need that until the end, is the beads. So this could also happen. Oh yeah. Rachel, how big is that ring? I imagine it to be like one of these midsummer grounds. Then the second one is Princess Ileana, once again, Mirabilia. This already has all the beads. And it also has the fabric. It's a 28 count Lavender Fields by Extra Design. What I don't have yet are the flosses. Once again, I don't think this is going to happen this year. And then the last project in this bag is a Glendon Blaze. Just for something different. And this is the Halloween luck pattern. So when black cats prowl and pumpkins... what is that word? I don't know that. May luck be on yours on Halloween. I have no idea what possessed me, because obviously words, so many words. But I've got a piece of fabric. It is once again a Crafty Kitten. It is called Aurora, 28 count, and it is this mixture of purple, these bright neon greens in there, and most of it is blue. I like this better than the orange pumpkins on the orange fabric. And Lollipop Stitches, I think it has done this pattern on this fabric. Not sure when I will be masochistic enough to start this, because so many words. No idea. I was young and dumb. But we have all the floss, we have the treasures, and the only thing that's missing is that little charm here on the cat. The cat has a charm here on his neck. That's the only thing that's missing. You can't get that any longer, but it's just a 4-leaf clover. So I think I will be able to find it somewhere. Even if it's not the exact same one. So, just put that away real quick, because this is already a disaster. I know what I'm going to do during Jessie's stream. Okay, I have a couple more, and then it's just a tiny little bit of haul, and then we're done. So, let's put that there. I have this Plum Street sampler. It's called A Country Winter. And this is a pattern I got with all the floss from one of my friends for Christmas year before last. Christmas 2020. And it is kitted up. I could start it. I just have to pick out a fabric. It calls for 36 count Confederate Gray. Have they renamed this fabric by now? I think that people have asked, but I don't think they have. But yeah, it's just supposed to go in some warm gray, so I probably have something that fits it in my stash. I haven't looked into it, but I should find something pretty easily because, like I said, I own a fabric store. And then I have these 3 Middle Hill buttons and beads kits. I asked Jessie to get them for me, and she did. And these are all suited for dark 13 stitching, so that's what I'm keeping them in hand for in case I manage to work my way through Midnight Watch and Toil and Trouble. Pretty sure I'm not, but we shall see. So very, very big maybes. Woohoo! We are through with that. So now I only have... Hi! I have a cat. And I have a tiny bit of haul. It's very tiny. That's all. So I have recently purchased another memorabilia pattern. This is Shakespeare's Fairies. And I totally got enabled while watching year-end whip parades, because there was one person, I think she was from Australia, who was just shy of finishing this, and I thought, wow, that looks so good. So this is a very big pattern. It is 136 by 307 stitches, so this is pretty big, and it has a lot of beads and treasures, and some of these treasures are no longer available. I found a shop in the US that sold a kit, and they didn't mention that it's these roses here, which you can't see are roses on this picture, but they are roses. Mill Hill is no longer making these, and there are 3 of them, I think, on this pattern. And I found this one shop that at least didn't state that the kit didn't have these beads in it, so I ordered it. It should be with Jessie now, for the time when I open my own box of doom. And yeah, see how that works out. I never noticed this until I saw this whip this whip parade, and I thought, well, that's pretty. It's big, but it's pretty. So I got that. And then I saw one of the newest releases by Glendon Blaze, which is this pattern here. It's called Poltergeist Pirates. And I just thought these are hilarious. Don't know what you think, but they are hilarious. So let me just... I have too many windows open. Too many windows. Where am I? There am I. So yeah, I have not completely kitted those up. I just got the special threads that go in there. So it's mostly Rainbow Gallery silk lame threads. These are all of them. And I got some of the buttons, not all of them. Because I got the big skulls. There are 2 of them in here. And then there are slightly smaller, and I need 3 of those, but they are out of stock right now. The 2 rats. And then the starfish. So, oh, cat. You are lying on the keyboard. She's activating Siri. I'm not a fan. Yeah, I know. I know. Can I have my pattern back? So yeah. Still have to get these buttons. I have ordered the fabric because this is a very special fabric. It is what it's called. It's called the camera's off. It's called Bang by Crossed Wing Collection, and I have ordered the piece from 123 Stitch. It is in Germany. I am just waiting for customs to contact me to pay the VAT on it. But it's just very, very special. The fabric looks exactly like that, so it's really cool. That's it. That's all. I'm really trying this year not to buy so much stuff, so let's see how that goes. I only want to get things I really need to start things and not just randomly kit up like I've obviously been doing in the last couple of years. Yeah. But that's all I have today. So I hope this was not too bad. I know the camera was really annoying that it went off all the time. I plan to do lives a bit more often from now on. I've spoken with my other half and he's fine with that. I share this office space with him. So every time I'm going to stream, he either has to sit there and keep his peanut gallery comments to himself, or he has to move to another room. So I have spoken to him and he seemed fine with that. So I plan to get a proper camera so these shenanigans won't happen in the future. And I guess I have to learn OBS because I literally installed it like 5 minutes past 3 today. So yes, Rachel, that's it. I have tons of more patterns and stuff, but yeah. Yeah, chaotic. It's really it's a good plan. Let's see how that goes. I have become pretty good with diamond painting, and I have actually slowed down a lot with the cross stitch buying recently. I mean, this is all the haul I have from, I think, the last 2 months. I purchased a whole lot of DMC, but you have seen that in all the kits. But I haven't purchased patterns, and I haven't purchased things I just don't need. So I've become a bit better. Now I just have to become better with yarn. I mean, it's January 19th. I haven't purchased any yarn yet, so good. Let's keep it that way. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. That's good to hear that I'm not the only one who doesn't fully understand all the things of OBS and streaming and stuff. Yeah. My pleasure, Rachel. Actually, the filming, like I said, hasn't been an issue, but all the rest. So, and I'm very, very, very sorry for that because it is a dumb reason not to have videos. It's not like I spend hours and hours and hours on editing stuff, but it's just not happening right now. Jenny, I think you actually lucked out because the camera kept going off. So and I don't know if I always caught it on time or if sometimes I talked to a black screen for minutes. No idea. Yeah, thank you, Linda. It's great to be back, and I think maybe doing more live will help with a bit more of getting consistency back into this. Well, let's be honest, we will never be consistent again on this channel. I have to learn my lessons. But yeah, I'm going to try. So first order of business is to get a proper webcam to stop this BS. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm glad you had at least some fun. I am honestly, even though she created quite a bit of chaos, I'm glad that Lola joined us because I know that you love seeing her a lot. And I'm glad she gave that to you. I had a feeling she would because she was on. She was on since 1 hour before I started the stream, so I had good hopes for that. And now I'm letting you go because in 30 minutes Jessie plans to do her lunch break stream over on Twitch, so I'm sending you over there. So grab a snack or whatever, have a bathroom break, and be back in 30 minutes over at Twitch. Okay. Thank you so much, and I hope soon again. Bye, everyone.